to AGK's Vinyl Life. I'm your host, Anthony K. And yes, it's actually Saturday, the day after the Black Friday Record Store Day. And once again, it's time to show you guys my haul at this year's Black Friday Record Store Day. Now, normally, every Record Store Day, I've always done a vlog and taking it to the stores and this and that. But this year, I decided not to do that, mainly because Record Store Day Black Friday was a piece of crap this year. That's right, in my opinion, for me personally. I'm sure lots of people, there's lots of people that like the Record Store Day list, though nobody I talked to did. Nobody I talked to liked the list. But I have seen videos on YouTube in the last 24 hours of people showing their finds. And actually, I've seen a few videos by people that never go to Record Store Day, that decided to go for maybe their first time this time to Record Store Day. Boy, did they pick the wrong year to go to Record Store Day. Personally, for me, I thought the list was absolute shite, crap, garbage, poo-poo, caca. Excuse my language. But of the list, I saw two titles that interested me. One that slightly interested me, and one that would probably be a must-buy for me. The one that would be a must-buy was the Jazz Dispensary, as I have bought every Jazz Dispensary at every Record Store Day since the beginning of time. And I have all the Jazz Dispensaries from the Record Store Day. It's one of my favorites. And I'll have to probably buy that online, as I do every Record Store Day, because for some reason here where I live, we never get the Jazz Dispensary releases. I didn't rush out yesterday. I didn't even go to Record Store Day yesterday. I actually did some shopping on Amazon for their Black Friday sale and picked up a couple records there, which I'll be showing you in this video. But yeah, I didn't go to Record Store Day, and today I decided, I looked at the list of leftovers at one store and noticed that the one that was a maybe for me, I decided to go for, mainly because I saw another gentleman, Jamie Cottle, actually showing this record on his video, and it was in my maybe list. Besides the Jazz Dispensary, this was about the only other one that I wanted. I'm talking about the English Beat. That's right, the English Beat. So today I went out and picked this up. It was a leftover. They had 2 copies left at one of the record stores I shop at. So I went and grabbed this one because I do absolutely love this album, and I've been looking for this album for years on vinyl, and I can never find it. You never see it in the stores. I have an English Beat CD box set that has all their albums plus remixes and various bonus tracks on it. But I hadn't planned on getting this. It was a maybe. But when I realized, I didn't realize at the time when the list first came out, that was actually a 2-record release. I just thought it was the album being reissued on a colored vinyl for the first time in forever. But it actually has a second disc of dubs, extended mixes, single versions, and some live stuff. And most of and there it is there. It's on a clear vinyl. And most of the stuff on this second disc you can get in that CD box set, which I do have. But there are a couple things that are actually original to this release. So that's great. And like I said, the only other versions I had of some of these things were on the CD bonus disc of the box set. So it's nice to have these on vinyl, and just great to have this album finally on vinyl. And it's funny, when I went to pick this album up today at the record store, the owner of the record store I said, there was just nothing this year for me. And he goes, I had a lot of my customers feeling the same way. Everybody I've talked to feels the same way. And this is a record store guy. Just an underwhelming list this year. And he said that, right, he goes, what you've got there is probably the best release of this year's Record Store Day. And this is coming from a record store owner. He said that this was, in his opinion, the best release of the entire Record Store Day. So this was my Record Store Day. That's my massive haul, people. I know I bait and switched you coming into this video. But this was my massive haul right here. The price was massive. This was my massive Record Store Day Black Friday haul for 2023. The English Beat, which are actually just the Beat. They were called the English Beat over here in North America, but they were just called the Beat. And it's the Record Store Day edition of a fantastic album. I just can't stop it. I think this should be in everybody's collection. And it's very hard to find OGs of this anymore. So that was my record store day, guys. That's it. That's all. That's my massive haul. But I do have some other stuff to show you. Before I show you what else I picked up this month, we're going to take a quick little pause for this. And we're back. I couldn't just do a record store day video and show you guys one record and go, bye! Catch you next time! So I decided to show you some stuff that I picked up this month as well, being Record Store Day month. Let's go with Record Store Day month. And I did pick up quite a few new things this month of November. And people that watch my channel know that regularly on my channel now for the last couple of years, I show my new releases of the month in a short at the end of every month. But instead of doing a short for my November finds, I thought I'd just show you guys today, since I only had one record to show you. I thought I'd show you my vinyl finds for November instead of making a short this month. And the first one I'm going to show you came out yesterday. They did come out on Record Store Day, but they are not Record Store Day releases. These two albums came out yesterday. They arrived this morning. I ordered them on Amazon on their Black Friday sale, and I got them both on a Black Friday sale. New releases that were marked down for Black Friday, which is great. The first of the two is Jethro Tull, War Child 2, which just dropped yesterday. Of course, mixed by Steven Wilson. And this is made up of songs that were recorded during the War Child album sessions way back in whenever that was, 1973 or 4 or 90. Yeah, they're recorded between December 73 and October 74. These were other tracks that weren't put on War Child that Steven Wilson has remixed, and they built an album out of them. One of them, of course, was featured on the best of MU, the best of Tull. That was Rainbow Blues. It's finally seeing a proper album release here. So there's a few bits and pieces here that were recorded and released on CDs and various little bits and pieces on different EPs and things and best of albums. Finally all collected together, remixed by Steven Wilson and put on this album and called War Child 2. So just a great era of Jethro Tull. So happy to pick that up. And this was a new release yesterday, Black Friday. Though it's not a Record Store Day release, it is a new release. And I got this for a really good price on Amazon on their Black Friday deal. So I picked that up yesterday, because I didn't have a Record Store Day, other than that one album. And the other Record Store Day release that came out yesterday, but is not a Record Store Day release. The other new release that came out yesterday is a reissue of the 2015 album by Kylie Minogue. And of course, people that watch my channel know I'm a big Kylie Minogue fan. And I didn't have this album in any format, either vinyl or CD. And her new album, Tension, which I'll be featuring in my best new releases of the year video, is fantastic. But this is Kylie's Christmas album, and this was on a super sale for Record Store Day, Black Friday on Amazon. So I grabbed a copy of this. It's on a black wax, and I've never heard it, but it's had great reviews, and I love Kylie Minogue. It was kind of missing in my collection, so I picked this one up too. Fantastic price to get vinyl here in Canada under $30 new is a thrill, and I got this for less than $30. So happy to get that. So those are kind of those three things there. I guess are technically my Black Friday Record Store Day pickups in a way, though two of them aren't even Record Store Day releases. So that's what I bought myself in lieu of the shitty, excuse my language, in lieu of the poo-poo Record Store Day list. In lieu of those, I bought these two things here. And other things I picked up this month. Well, then, people know I'm not a big Beatles fan. For me, the Beatles were the Red and the Blue album. I arrived at the party after the Beatles had broken up and never developed into a Beatles fan. I have a couple of their albums like Abbey Road and Sgt. Pepper and Magical Mystery Tour. I have those on CD, and I honestly haven't played any of those CDs since they were first issued in the 80s. That's how much I listened to the Beatles. For me, the Beatles were the Red and the Blue. I loved the Red and the Blue. And I tried to get into the other albums, but I grew up on those two albums. So they're all I need by the Beatles. and I do have old original pressings, but when they announced the new box set, a moment of insanity took me over, and I bought them. And these are the red and blue vinyl versions. I bought this direct from Universal Music. And I don't call it an upgrade. I just call it a replacement of my OGs. I'll probably sell off my OGs in an auction. I might even do a shootout. I think it would be interesting for me, a non-Beatles fan, a non-audiophile, to do a shootout of these two here versus my OG Canadian copies. I think that could, and I might do that in December. That might be a video in December. A non-Beatle fan reviews the red and the blue. A non-audiophile, a non-Beatle fan reviews them. So I might save that for a December video. But yeah, I bought the Bullet and bought these because I do like the additional discs in each of these red and blue, the additional music that they presented on the third disc of each of these. So insanity took me over and I bought it. And that's fine. That's fine. But I also, insanity totally took me over, and I actually bought Now and Then in the 12-inch mix and in the blue and white marble mix. And the reasons I bought these was not so much for my collection, but one of these two, maybe both of them, is going to be a door prize at my next auction, my December 16th auction. I'm going to make one of these two a door prize, maybe both of them. I haven't decided yet. I bought these more. One of them is definitely going to be a gift to somebody at my next auction. And more about that later. And the last few things I'll show you that I got for November, my November vinyl finds. The brand new, oopsie. The brand new Brown Acid 17th Trip. People know I love the Brown Acid series, though I will not buy anything ever again from Riding Easy Records directly after they screwed me last year. So I won't buy anything from them ever again, but I did pick this up on Amazon. And it's the latest volume, the 17th trip. I have all 17 trips so far. Fantastic, fantastic series. I've talked about them many times before. Garage rock and rock oddities at their finest, compiled. And this series is probably the best comp series out there in the world, in my opinion. So Brown Acid 17th Trip, I picked that up this month. I picked up the new single from Kurt Vile. I love Kurt Vile. And this is a tribute single for a band. What was the name of the band? I always forget. Chastity Belt. This is a tribute single that Kurt Vinyl. Well, it is Vinyl. Kurt Vinyl did a tribute single for an all-girls band called Chastity Belt. And it's a double A-sided single, and he's doing a cover of the Chastity Belt's This Time of Night by Kurt Vile. And on the flip side is Courtney Barnett, the Australian. She's kind of an Australian Kurt Vile. And she and him have actually done an album together. She's kind of an Australian version of Kurt Vile. And she does a song called Different Now, also by Chastity Belt. Little tribute single there, 7-inch single. Picked that up this month. And then the next thing I picked up is a brand new album, debut album, by a brand new solo pop, dance pop artist. She borders on R&B and dance and pop. She's out of Montreal, Canada. And a friend of mine at a record store called me up downtown and said, Anthony, I've got an artist coming in this afternoon to sign some albums. And if you want to come check her out, she's going to be signing some albums. And if you want to check out, he knows I love new music and support indie artists. And so she's actually signed to Universal. Her name is I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Reve. It's got an accent over the E. Her name's Reeve. The name of the album is Saturn Return. I guess I should take that out. The name of the album is Saturn Return. And as you can see, there's an Obi strip here, which I went down there and she signed the Obi strip right there. There's her signature. She signed the Obi strip. I'm just full of faux pas today. She signed the Obi strip, and they're hand numbered by her as well. I got number 10 out of 100 hand number pressings It's on a beautiful colored vinyl. Maybe in the next video, in a future video, I'll show you the actual vinyl. Check her out. Support these new artists. She actually got signed to Universal Music. Saturn Return, some great modern pop, dance pop, R&B by Reve, and a fantastic autographed and numbered version of her album. So I got that this month. The next thing is the brand new album by punk rockers Dwarves, not the Dwarves, not the Canadian Dwarves, just Dwarves. And it's going to be tough to show you this one because a lot of Dwarves albums have naked women on the covers. Quite a few of them have naked women on the covers, and this one's pretty much the same. But this is the brand new album by Dwarves. I'm just going to censor it here as best I can. Let's see, censor it here. Brand new album by Dwarves called Concept Album. That's right, Dwarves Concept Album. The Dwarves Concept Album, brand new from the punk rockers Dwarves. I'm just tongue-tied today. Concept album. So I haven't had a chance to hear that, though I have heard a couple songs online. They sound great. So looking forward to spinning that. I picked that up just about a week ago. And also at the same time, I pre-ordered this one, and this one arrived. At the same time as the Dwarves, actually. It arrived at the same time as the Dwarves. And it's from Baby Metal. And of course, my fit check for this video is my brand new Baby Metal shirt from their world tour that I went to see in September. And I'll just give you guys the old spin around here. This is my tour shirt that I picked up at the Baby Metal concert back in September, and Baby Metal just blew everybody's minds. What a fantastic show. Blew everybody's minds. So from their world tour, the live album, this just dropped a week ago. It's called Baby Metal Begins. The other one, Black Knight, and it's basically a live album supporting their world tour that they were on this year. Baby Metal Begins, Black Knight. And looking forward to spinning that. And of course, like I said, I saw this tour. It was fantastic, mind-blowing performance. This is a double LP from Baby Metal. Baby Metal Begins. The other one, Black Knight. So picked that up. That just arrived a week ago. And also arrived, this actually arrived last Sunday, right before my auction. And though I have this album in multiple formats, I have a CD version of this album, and I have a previous LP version of this album. I couldn't pass this up. People know Thin Lizzy are in my top bands of all time, top 10 bands of all time. So I had to pick up the brand new remaster of Vagabonds of the Western World. I went for the 2-disc edition. You could get a standard 1-disc edition, which I have, already. There was a 4-disc box set, which was ridiculously priced, which gave you the album and then 3 discs of I think it was John Peel sessions. 3 discs of live John Peel sessions. I'm waiting for the CD version of that to come out just because the box set is ridiculously expensive here in Canada. $200 plus for that box set of 4 LPs, and I just didn't think those John Peel live sessions were worth that. I'm going to pick it up on CD. The CD releases in a few more weeks, and I'll pick up the CD version. But I picked up the 2 LP version. There was also a 2 LP. There was a single LP, a 2 LP, and the 4 LP with the 3 live sides. So I decided to pick up the 2 LP, and the 2 LP, of course, features the remastered album, and then the second disc features a lot of single A-sides and B-sides, like Whiskey in the Jar, Black Boys on the Corner, Rudolph Tango. So it's basically all singles and B-sides that were released around the time of this album, including an alternate extended mix of Whiskey in the Jar, some alternate mixes as well. And some of these songs are available on a previous CDs, but have not been pressed to vinyl. And I think a couple of them do appear on the Remembering album by Thin Lizzy, if I remember right. A couple of them appear on the UK only Remembering album from years ago. But nice to have them finally remastered, everything remastered. Made in Germany. It's going to sound spectacular. It's on a purple vinyl. So happy to add that to my collection this month. And then the last couple to show you guys. This one arrived also earlier this week. This one arrived, And this is a Dead Life, God in the Machine. This is a very, very trippy album. I highly recommend you guys check this out. Dead Life and God in the Machine. It's electronic, it's experimental, it's synth poppy, it's all over the place. It's hard to describe this album, but it's very, very, very cool. So really excited to have this one. I think this is on a colored vinyl as well, if I remember right. It's on a cool colored vinyl. So I picked up Dead Life. Dead Life, God in the Machine. Check these guys out. Look them up online. Check them out. Dead Life, God in the Machine. And the last two things, this one I actually ordered from Miss Selena Gomez's website. It's her single that came out this summer. This is a single with alternate artwork. The single was called Single Soon. And I think it's only it's got an instrumental version on side B and the single on side A. And I like Selena Gomez, and you know, my daughter and I grew up listening to Selena Gomez and watching Wizards of Waverly together when she was a young'un. So I've always followed Selena Gomez, and I love her grown-up material. This is her latest single, which has been released. This was an exclusive from the Selena Gomez website. The single's made in France. With a beautiful cover picture. I don't know if it's on a colored vinyl or anything. I think it is, actually. But Selena Gomez, Single Soon, the 7-inch single. And last but not least, but this arrived yesterday, the brand new reissue of Robert Miles' Dreamland. And this, to me, was my introduction to trance music. This album right here opened my eyes to trance back in the late 90s. Robert Miles' Dreamland. It's legendary. This is a legend. In my opinion, a legendary album. This introduced me to trance and started me down a road of enjoying techno and trance. And this album's been finally pressed again to vinyl. I do have another version of this from a few years ago, but it was a really strange version on vinyl because they gave you it was a 2 LP vinyl release, but on the 2 LPs, it was 12-inch mixes. So it was more like 2 12-inch singles, and then they gave you the actual album on a CD inside the package. Finally getting the full album has been released on vinyl again. And I highly, highly, highly recommend this album. I will talk more about this maybe in a future video. But these guys introduced, this guy right here introduced me to trance. This is a spectacular album that if you need any sort of ambient or trance or techno album in your library, this is the one to have. And with that being said, all that's left to say is I'll see you guys in my next video. And rock and roll.